Book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 12 in the NLT. The wicked plot against the godly, they snarl at them in defiance. But the Lord just laughs, for he sees their day of judgment coming. The wicked draw their swords and strings their bows to kill the poor and the oppressed, to slaughter those who do right. But their swords will stab their own hearts, and their bows will be broken. It is better to be godly and have little than to be evil and rich. For the strength of the wicked will be shattered, but the Lord takes care of the godly. Day by day, the Lord takes care of the innocent, and they will receive an inheritance that lasts forever. And we should be praying to receive an everlasting inheritance. Okay, you wicked devils think that y'all gonna uh keep doing what you're doing, but the Lord is gonna lift up a standard against y'all. That's why y'all are trying y'all best to speed up the process, because y'all know that y'all have a short time. But in verse 13, it says, but the Lord just laughs, for he sees their day of judgment coming. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai is sitting in the heavens laughing at you devils, okay? You think you're going to get away with what you're doing, but you're not, okay? The Most High eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun for seeing the evil and the good. And he most definitely is mad at the wicked every day. Okay, so you devils can keep on doing and planning and plotting on the innocent and the just and the poor. But the Most High is going to use his right hand to bring you devils down. So we should be praying to the Lord to bring these devils down daily. It should not be a day that goes by where you don't want your enemies to come down from off of their high horse. Okay? This is what this is all about. Having faith in the Most High to bring these devils down and take them out of power, and lift up the tabernacle of David to make these heathens serve us and build up our kingdom for righteousness' sake. Okay? This is what we putting in the work for. All right? It's time for them to be the tail and for us to be the head. Okay? You devils, you only have but a short time. It's almost over with. Okay? Yahweh Shem Yahushai will not let this last for too much more longer. Okay? We right here at the door of your kingdom coming down. 250 years, that's it for you. You know, some of y'all people want this kingdom to last forever. Talking about this 2030 agenda shit. Nah, it ain't gonna be no 2030 agenda. We gonna pray to the Lord to bring you motherfuckers down ASAP, sooner than later. Okay? Because you devils think that y'all just gonna keep ruling and running the earth in wickedness. The earth is crying out. The earth is crying out, as we can see. Okay?
Been funding a new microneedle patch implant that installs both mRNA and quantum dot markings straight into your body. This will be used as a vaccine passport, which will be straight installed into your wrist. So basically a biological vaccine passport, so that you won't need it on your phone, as so he claims. You can just scan your wrist and you're done. So this is basically what they've planned for the next pandemic, because they are planning the next pandemic, and you can see it in the way they have been speaking about the next pandemic, and it is going to be more dangerous. Now, whether it will be a pandemic or some catastrophe event, we don't know of that, but it is going to be something big. So COVID was just a test run. Those were just rehearsal days. Now comes in the great performance, the final round. The idea is that this time they're going to make these passports compulsory. I mean, last time also they were fussing about you can't go to your job if you don't have a vaccine, you can't go here, you can't go to university, you can't travel, you can't board a flight, all of that. But this time it's going to be a proper vaccine passport. They want to sneak it in because somehow they want to create technology which merges with your hand or with your body. If it's created in a normal situation, you're You're not going to accept it. You're a very intelligent person. And so they are going to bring this cataclysmic event which will force you to accept what they want to bring. So you won't be allowed without this lipid nanoparticle quantum dot thing in your wrist. You won't be allowed to buy vegetables. You won't be allowed to do regular work. You won't be allowed to go anywhere, right? So it's clear and evident. This is more about control. They are posing as if it's about your health and we need to surveil and monitor, and it's important so that the pandemic doesn't come in again, so that we can monitor you, so that we can see how many booster shots you've got, how many vaccines you've got. But in reality, we all know it's not about our health. It's about control. It's about surveillance. It's about more and more invasive technology being put into your skin. The mark of the beast is here. If you believe that you are just the body or the brain, you will stay limited to that scientific orthodoxy. That is when you begin to say no to such invasive technologies, such frightening dystopian technologies. And I'll be diving very deep in my next workshop, which I'll be conducting. If you're interested, just type event in the comments.
What they don't tell the people is that 6G rolled out on those cruise ships. People can go look this up. It's 6G maritime cruise ships. And 6G has rolled out on those cruise ships, so people are coming down with the illness. That's what it is, the Santa virus. Just like in 2020 when 5G rolled out on the cruise ships, people came down with the right? And then to go back to 1919 Kansas flu, when they rolled out the radio, which is the same as the lowest G, the cell phone tower. When they rolled that out, it came down with the Kansas flu. So you see, once you go through all of the introductions of technology, that's when people started coming down with the whole entire flu or this illness.
Court of the United States. I printed it off. I'll even give you the link. Matter of fact, let me give you the link right now. //opinions/12pdf/12-398 Let me read this to you in case you don't understand what the hell's going on with this stupid ass shot. In the U.S., the Supreme Court has ruled that vaccinated people worldwide are products, patented goods, according to U.S. law, no longer human. Through a modified DNA or RNA vaccination, the mRNA vaccination, the person ceases to be human and becomes the owner of the holder of the modified gen vaccination patent because they have their own genome and are no longer human without natural people in parentheses, but transhuman. So a category that does not exist in human rights. Did you hear that? A category that does not exist in human rights. The quality of a natural person and all related rights are lost. No rights, freedoms, and liberties. No religious exemptions, nothing, because you've been turned into a person, not a man or a woman. You think I've been joking? I've been telling you guys to wake the hell up. You haven't been waking up. Now it's kicking you in your teeth.
Do you think anyone would have gotten these shots if they told them, hey, look, like, you're no longer going to be considered a human being, like your God-given rights, you'll no longer have your constitutional rights or anything like that because your genetic expression has now changed, and because we patented that genetic expression, we own you. Kind of how that sounds, right?
Holy fuck, chat. What did RFK just say in this video? Watch this.
We need to talk about bioweapons. I know a lot now about bioweapons because I've been doing a book on it for the past 2.5 years. And you know, the technology that we now have to develop these microbes, we've put hundreds of millions of dollars into ethnically targeted microbes. The Chinese have done the same thing. In fact, COVID-19, there's an argument that it is ethnically targeted. COVID-19 attacks certain races disproportionately. The races that are most immune to COVID-19 are because of the structure of the genetic structure of genetic differentials among different races of the receptors of the ACE2 receptor. COVID-19 is targeted to attack Caucasians and
been funding a new
And that's Job 9 and 24 and Psalms 83 in a nutshell. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Okay? These devils have always plotted against the just, against the Israelites from the beginning. And they still doing it now. But the Most High is going to lift up a standard and take you devils down. This will not go on for too much more longer. Okay? And David read about y'all in the Psalms. Most of the Psalms is about you devils. Okay? And y'all about to go back into subjection under the Israelites. Y'all going into captivity, into chains. Okay? Psalms 10 in verse 2. The wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blessed the covetous whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. And that's exactly what you devils think. Y'all think y'all ain't gonna never be in adversity. But I'm here to tell you devils is going down. Okay? Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is gonna defend the righteous, the just, and the innocent. Okay? The Most High is not a man that he shall lie. Okay? So we need to keep our faith in the Most High, in the Lord. Okay? Because Yahweh Shai is going to return and he is going to avenge us. Okay? Speedily. Okay? He's going to avenge us. And that's all I had. Just wanted to speak on that real quick and bring out a couple of scriptures. Call Halayalam Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, Double Healthy Shalom, Abba Babal, Laquam Rosh Yallah.